It's another beautiful day in Northwest Pennsylvania, and we're here at a different range. Actually, this is my favorite range. This is my favorite club. There's nobody out here 'cause it's in the middle of the week. But let me quickly show you uh, the layout here. Let me go from 25 yards all the way out at 200, way out there. This is really a beautiful range, and we just put a whole new building up. Do a quick little turn this way. A whole new building up. No, this is not the clubhouse. This is just on the rifle range. And then over here is the trap range. So kind of combination for the rifle shooters and for the trap shooters. And beyond that, if you look way over there, that's the pistol range. You've seen some videos from there. And then we'll turn around and show you the rest. Yeah, I drove the car today, not the motorcycle, because can't carry all this stuff on the motorcycle. And there's the clubhouse and stuff, and the old trap range building. I don't know what we're going to do with that just yet. But what we're doing today, let me turn this back around here. What we're doing today is a continuation from my last video, although with muzzle loaders. So last video I was doing big bore 45-70. Well, I thought I'd step it up a notch and go to something really big. Okay, well, brown bass big. Let me turn you around here, and yeah, here we go. I'm gonna step around over here. Yep. Brown bass big. The old, definitely not loaded, not primed, so perfectly safe. Yep, 75 caliber. That's big, isn't it? Big bore. This gun's been through a lot. You can tell by just how manky the barrel looks. It's been shot a lot. It's been shot in competitions. It's been all over the place. And this thing's beautiful. I love this gun. The other big bore we brought with us, or I brought with me, by myself today, is this big boy. What we got is a Yager rifle. Some of you may be familiar with what Yager rifles are. They're basically a hunting rifle. This is a kind of a American Yager version. It's a little different than a normal Yager. They're usually 28-inch barrels. I wanted a 36. And this puppy, come up to here. I don't know if you can see that, is 62 caliber. Kind of like a trade gun. And there's respect that it's a 62 caliber. But this is rifled. And we're going to shoot it today. I'm going to take it easy on myself. Last week I really dehydrated my butt. So I'm going to take it easy today. I'm just going to do some 50-yard. Some lighter loads for this gun would be 100 to 120 grain is a light load for it. I've hunted with this gun up to about 160 grains behind a 62 caliber round ball. This thing is a thumper. Let me come over here for a second. Give you an idea of the size of the ball here. Okay. Bear with me here. Okay. See if I can get this to focus. Okay, the ball on your left. That's a brown bass. 75 caliber, or this is like a 730, 735. And the ball on the right is a 62 caliber ball, or, ooh, this is not going to work. 610 caliber. So I think the 62 caliber is like around 300 grain, 300 some odd grain. And the 75 is, I don't know, whatever it is, a lot. Although I really don't go much above 80 grains of 2F in my brown bass. Seem to always work the best around that velocity with a 735 ball. Sometimes I use paper cartridges, and I'll go down to like a 715 ball. When I shot this gun in competition, we did something called a Micolay match. Some of you might be familiar with it if you're into black powder competitions. And that's like 13 shots in, I think it's like 20 minutes. It's been a long time since I shot one of these matches. 10, you throw away 3. You keep your 10 best scores. It's shot at about 50 meters. And it's shot on an international target, which, if you've ever seen one of those, they start out at 10 in the center and go out to 1 on the outer ring. So the further away you get from the center of that target, you start losing points really fast. And you can't clean the gun in those 13 rounds. So you have to shoot 13 rounds consecutively. And anybody who's fired brown besses, they can get pretty fouled out pretty quick. Most of them don't use, cloth patches with lube and all that other stuff. Get rid of these things. Getting spots on them from sweat. So you can't really clean the gun in between shots. So the trick was to go from a 735 ball, and when the gun started getting hard to load, drop it down to a 715. And oddly enough, it shot pretty damn accurately. At 25 and 50 yards, you had a hard time telling the difference between the brown bass and a rifle shot. At least with this gun. Some are better. I know one guy who had a Charleville, and that thing was like a rifle out to 100 yards. I've shot my brown bass out to 100 yards, and yeah, I can keep it on the target, but it's not really, it's a short barreled gun, so it tends to wander out a bit. And at 200 yards, which some of these competitions I actually had to shoot with a group of guys out to 200 yards on man-sized targets, and yeah, I couldn't tell you which one I hit. I'm aiming at the guy at the right, and if I hit the guy 2 guys over at that distance, but it was a team shoot, a team event kind of thing. So let me get myself set up here, and we'll do a little bit of shooting and make some smoke, and share another one of my passions, from motorcycles to shooting sports, handguns, and my real passion, muzzleloaders. Okay, here's just some of the stuff that I use when I'm shooting. The patch knife. I tend to cut my patches at the muzzle. My short starter. A powder measurer. Should never load from the can or whatever straight into the barrel. A nozzle on the end of my can, which acts like a flask. And what some people call a whipping stick or a loading rod. I don't usually use the rods that are on the gun, but this one is set up with a brass ramrod. Adds a little weight and adds a little strength when you're trying to load these tightly patched ball combinations. So I'm gonna go get some loading started. Okay, I'm trying to line up uh, my own camera shots here. So bear with me if I'm not completely in frame. The last thing I forgot to mention was there's a priming flask. Now I haven't put a new flint in this gun in quite a few years, so let's see how good my flint still is. I'm going easy on myself today. I'm using 120 grains instead of 160 or 140. This should be pretty good for just shooting 50 yards and 100 yards. I mean, just for punching paper, it's perfectly good. The lube I'm using is Lehigh Valley patch lube. Now, I make my own stuff too, but I didn't bring a lot of that today. And this is kind of like the last bottle of this stuff that I have. And I thought, oof, smells like pine sol sometimes. No, it's not a hugely tight patch ball combination. It's a 610 ball and a 62 caliber rifle. Get my earplugs in. I'm gonna try this offhand. It's been a long time since I've done this. This gun's incredibly heavy. And yeah, it's left-handed. Helps if you cock the gun. And it's got an incredibly light trigger. Like about 6 ounces. Yep. That's what it feels like. Ha! In the black already. Wow. I thought I'd like be somewhere else on the paper, but like I said, it's been a few years since I shot this. I think there's one short on my channel when I lived up in Ticonderoga, New York, as if there's another Ticonderoga somewhere. Up on the mountain behind where I lived. I was up there shooting this for a quick video on an old cell phone that might as well have been a potato. But it's in there. It's one of my shorts. It's been on there for a very long time. It's like one of the first 2 videos I ever shot. And I do cast my own ball because it's very hard to find 610 diameter balls. It's not something you can go to your local sporting goods store. You can find 50s and 54s and 45s and shit. Did I forget to put powder in? Oh, no, probably not. I hope so. I get talking. Okay. I gotta remember to shut up and shoot. I jerked that one. Yep. I felt as soon as I pulled the trigger on that, I put it right down at the bottom of the bottom ring at 6 o'clock. God, hate when I do that. I'm gonna just take 5 shots at this and then I'll clean it, which is usually what I always did with my guns. 5 to 10 shots. Now, I've always liked liquid lubes over grease, but grease does work. I just happen to like liquid lubes because you can get, literally, you get more shots before you have to clean because the grease tends to gum up the barrel. At least, that's my theory on it. I've tried all sorts of lubes. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I've tried, the Thompson Centers and, what's the other one? I don't know. I've tried so many different lubes, grease and liquids and stuff. The only factory one I ever liked was Lehigh Valley. I don't think it's in production anymore. Tell you one thing, this thing really pulls on my back because of the 18 or 19 pounds that it weighs. Well, that would have been a nice shot too. Let's try that again. Yep, back in the black. Whew. No matter how hard I hold this gun to my shoulder, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it jumps up. This thing really jumps. And you can imagine what it's like shooting this thing with, 160 grains of powder. It makes a huge difference. Now, aside from the recoil, one of the reasons I don't shoot this gun a lot, hate that, is it just the cost of powder. Every shot's 100 grains, 120 grains. There's, you know, 7,000 grains in a pound of powder. So it starts to add up pretty fast. You don't get as many shots out of a pound of powder as you do with, say, a 36 caliber or a 40 caliber or even a 50 caliber shooting 80 grains of powder. Now this thing is taking black bear and deer, no problems. Absolutely no problem taking anything. with this thing. It pretty much slaps them right down. Of course, if you don't hit your mark, it just puts a big hole where you don't want it, and then you gotta chase it. But you put this thing in the boiler room, heart, lung, even shoulders. I've taken a shoulder shot on a deer, which I was not intending to do. It just happened to pull the shot up that high, and it bowled the deer right over like it was, well, like it was a silhouette. It just knocked it right over. Just the shock of this thing hitting them, shattering its shoulder blade. The bullet actually passed through both shoulder blades and was lodged under the skin on the far side. Now, if I hit a rib cage with this thing, it just blows through both sides. The ball doesn't really expand, so to say. I mean, it does flatten out some, but it doesn't expand like a hollow point or a soft point bullet. It just puts a big hole coming in and a slightly bigger hole coming out. Today, too, I'm priming with 4F. A lot of times I'll prime with 3F. If I've got 4F, well, I'll use it. But the lock times on this gun are about the same with 3F or 4F. I find it a little faster with 4F, but not, you know, if I'm hunting, it wouldn't make a difference. If I'm shooting a match, it might make a little difference. Ow. I have yet to figure out a way to shoot this gun where I'm not punching myself in the nose. Nature of the beast. Okay, last round for this string. Last round. The patch material is 18 thousandths pillow ticking or mattress ticking. I think it's mattress ticking. It's a little heavier. Usually, pillow ticking is a thinner, slightly thinner. It may have the same stripes on it, but it it's a little thinner. 10 thousandths or whatever. This is 18. It's kind of funny because I'll walk into a fabric store with a micrometer, and they're wondering what the hell I'm doing. Well, I'm looking for patch material. All right. That last shot I pulled a little to the left. It happens. It's been a while. And this gun tends to fatigue me. It's not less than light like my 40 cal long gun. This thing's a beast. And back in the black. So out of 5 shots, 3 are in the black. And And not handling this gun for as many years as I haven't picked it up and shot it, I don't know. I feel pretty happy with that. Let's see. Where's my scissors? Now, to clean the gun is pretty much the same stuff I use to shoot with, conveniently. Let's see what it looks like. Actually, getting pretty good combustion here. Kind of happy with that. Now, this is some older Go-X that I have. Shit. Back when I was shooting competitions, I wound up buying about, I think the last order was 25 pounds, and I wound up not shooting much of any of it. Give me a few minutes, and I'm going to switch over to the brown bass after I take you guys down range and look at the target. Just want to get this. Ooh. Yeah, when I go home, I really clean them out, but this is good. Cursory, get the big nasty stuff out of it. All right, let's go take a walk down and look at the target. Okay. Not bigger holes than last time you saw them. There's the three in the black. And there's that one at 6 o'clock and the one I shot to the left. I mean, you can see the black of this target isn't really all that big, you know. But still, I could do better. Well, that's me. I always feel like I can do better. And I used to do better, but, I'm not shooting competitions anymore. I'm just having fun. Let's go ahead back up and set up again.